No matter what season it is in the garden, there is always something to obsess about. And for so many in this moment, it's autumn colour. As the nights get colder, that is the stimulation for so many of these deciduous exotic trees to start putting on their autumn show. And here in central Victoria, in Tilden, we're at high altitude, which means cool, crisp nights and fantastic colour to choose for the garden. How incredible is that colour? And that's one of the classic maples. And some of you who watch the autumn colour each year, sometimes known as leaf peepers, might have noticed that that red colouring can be different from year to year. Variations in temperature, soil moisture and sunlight can all influence the production of the red pigment anthocyanin. Through the warmer summer months, our old friend chlorophyll, which is the green pigment, actually masks a lot of this colour, but as the autumn comes, the tree stops producing it, it starts to break down and it reveals this absolute kaleidoscope. The lovely yellow tones of some trees are created by carotenoids, which are always present. So regardless of the weather, they'll put on a show. There really is a maple for almost any garden situation. They've been cultivated and bred for such a long time. There's the tough and large trees that you would use if you had lots of space, but there's also all of the Japanese maple varieties that are fantastic in smaller gardens. There's weeping forms that are grafted, there are red-barked forms, and of course there's even some shrubs. This is a variety called Shana. It is only a shrub to about 2 metres high, and you can stick it in almost any garden, prune it really hard to get lots of stems and lots of foliage. And the trick with the Japanese maples, they're tougher than you think, is to keep them in a sheltered spot. They do want a bit of sunlight to develop this lovely foliage colour, but keep them out of the hottest, driest winds and you'll have gorgeous foliage right through the season. If you want a small autumn tree for really tough conditions, hot and dry, this is such a beautiful variety. It's known as the Persian witch hazel or Perotia, and it is a fantastic tree. You can see just how gorgeous the tones are. It goes anywhere from orange to red and golden colour. And it is incredibly hardy. It'll take the cold as well. Its other common name is Persian ironwood, which gives you a little clue to how this timber was used traditionally, but I reckon it is a great choice for lots of home gardens. When it comes to gold and yellow tones in the garden, Gingko Biloba is utterly buttery. It is one of the most beautiful plants in the landscape. It is an ancient tree. It's also known as the maidenhair tree, and you can see the fresh green foliage looks just like a fern. And it is quite a slow-growing tree, quite suited to a lot of city conditions because of that. It doesn't get huge quickly. But there's now also a few different forms on the market, really narrow, upright varieties, and you can even get one grafted as a little dwarf ball on a stick. I reckon this is one of the most beautiful tones that you can put into any garden. The ginkgo is commonly called a living fossil because they have been around for millennia. They will live for centuries, growing into large trees. But given they are also slow growing, they can often be used well in smaller gardens. The Cotinus are such great plants and they become really popular in gardens for good reason. I grow this variety Grace up against the house, and parts of it I let get really lanky because then they also flower and it looks like smoke above the plant. That's why they're called the smokebush. Other parts I prune really hard to flush out lots of vigorous new growth and you get lots of colour. But there are so many varieties to choose from. They are all different sizes and they all have different needs for cultivation. So it's really worthwhile finding out the best for your location. I think I'm going to try this one, Flame. Look how gorgeous that orange is. And I love this vibrant lemon lime. I reckon that's going to find a place in my garden. It's not only the ornamental garden that looks great right now. There's plenty of edibles that also provide lots of autumn colour. Peaches, persimmons, pomegranates, they're all popping with colour. And blueberries, they're one of my absolute favourite fruits, but also one of my favourite plants, particularly these northern high bush varieties. They come from cold climates, and of course that means they have fantastic autumn colour. You can see this rich burgundy that happens now. They're going to go bright orange and red. They are delicious in every way. As gorgeous as they are, all of those deciduous exotic plants are putting on such a show because they're going into dormancy. In the cooler climates, in the northern hemisphere, it is harsh. Whereas in Australia, so many of our plants are actually waking up. They're dormant in the summer months when it's hot and dry, and autumn and winter can be their most beautiful times. Some of our beautiful Banksias, they're budding up right now. You've got correas and croweas. They're going to bloom for the next few months. And of course, there's a gazillion grevilleas to choose from. So never overlook the Australian plants when you're creating a beautiful autumnal garden. So whether it is Australian plants that have your heart or these gorgeous deciduous exotics, it is a fantastic time to be choosing new things and getting them in the ground. So I give you full permission to have an autumn obsession.